Hello, algebra students. So if I'm going to be honest, this might be a little more complicated than what you would see on the GED, my advanced level students, but I like it because we're going to review 2 GED skills in the doing of it. Like by doing it, we'll review 2 GED skills, and also it's just great preparation. So first thing I want you to notice, it says solve, and I have 18 over 12 is equal to the sum of n and 7 over the quantity of n minus 1. And I'm just using that language sum and quantity to give you the idea that those things are grouped inside that fraction. So why does that matter? Well, it matters because this is a proportion. Look at that. Fraction equal to fraction, and that's all we have going on. It doesn't matter how ugly the fractions are. It's still in proportion, which means we can still use that lovely pattern that we noticed, which is that cross products are equivalent. Now, I will warn you just for college that you do have to watch out for things like this, because even though it's true that cross products are equivalent, sometimes you'll get false answers that don't work. And that's because of what we learned in undefined expressions. We learned that you're not allowed to divide by 0. So if you by chance, and it doesn't happen a whole heck of a lot, but if you were to get an answer that were to make that 0, then you would just have to throw it away. For example, if I found out that n was equal to 1, it wouldn't work because 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. But anyway, that, like I said, is not combined on the GED. So let's just go ahead and multiply this through and do our cross products. So first cross product is going to come from 18 times the quantity of n minus 1. And again, there's me using that language again because I need you to realize that 18 is multiplying by the entire n minus 1. So why don't we write it down with parentheses for now? And that's going to be equivalent to the other cross product, which is from 12 times n plus 7. And now I will do the simplifying. We can see that multi-step equation skills are coming up here as well. Since 18 is shoved up against these parentheses, it is multiplying both the terms in that grouping. So 18 times n is 18n, and 18 times negative 1 is negative 18. And that's going to be equivalent to, well, I can pass out my 12 as well. 12 times n is 12n. And notice how this simplifying is just on one side. And then 12 times positive 7 is positive or plus 84. Wonderful. Looking on the left-hand side, 18n minus 18. Can't simplify that any further. Right-hand side, 12n plus 84. Can't simplify that any further. My first wisdom principle, simplify the left and right-hand side if possible, is done. Check. But don't forget the second wisdom principle, which is watch out for variable terms on both sides. If we have a variable term on both sides, which we do, we have an n term here on the left-hand side of the equation and an n term here on the right-hand side of the equation, we have got to get them together before we can move the numbers away from them. It's like, how are you going to move the numbers away if the letters are everywhere? So it really doesn't matter which one you move, but I think that I will take away this 12n from both sides to avoid getting negatives. I could have just as easily done it the other way and moved the 18n. Now remember though, when you're moving the 12 and the n together, you're not breaking that multiplication bond between 12 and n. You're taking the entire term, so you need to do it through addition or subtraction. 12n was positive, so I moved it through subtraction. And let's see what my new equivalent equation will be. 18n minus 12n leaves me with just 6n. Taking away the 12n didn't affect my constant, my negative 18. And that's going to be equivalent to, well, on this right-hand side, 12n minus 12n is 0. I have nothing to add with 84. I have just 84. Wonderful. Now I got the variable terms to the same side. N is only on the left-hand side. So now I can work to isolate n and get the numbers to the other side. That was wisdom principle 3, isolate. So let's give ourselves some room. 6n minus 18 equals 84. Beautiful. So I've got two numbers to get rid of, that 6, which is multiplying, and that 18, which is subtracting from n. And when we're solving, we're working backwards. So let's move anything adding or subtracting first. So I'll add 18 to both sides. Subtracting 18 and adding 18 are opposites, they cancel. All I have left on the left-hand side is 6n. And let's see, 84 plus 18, 4 plus 8 is 12, 102. Wonderful. Not quite alone yet. I still have the 6 to get rid of. It's multiplying, so I'll divide. I'm being disobedient, so I keep my balance on both sides. Multiplying by 6 and dividing by 6 are opposites. They cancel. Ends alone, just like I wanted. And how many times does 6 go into 102? I'm going to use sight division, which there's a video for this on the channel if you want one. So 6 goes into 10 once, remainder 4, and 6 goes into 42 7 times. What would n have to be to make the original equation, the original proportion true? N would have to be 17. All right, strong work, you guys. Super proud of you.